Welcome to Fantasy Football with the Dork and the Dude.
I'm the Dork.
And I'm the Dude.
Hey, welcome. What a wild card weekend.
Well, it was. Yeah, it was. Okay. Well, as you can see, Dork is wearing the mask again. He had another rough week out there. What'd you end up going, Dork?
I was 2-4 on the week.
I was 5-1.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
I thought we both had Pittsburgh and Dallas.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we did. Okay, I went 4-2.
Okay, I'm going to watch this guy from now on.
Yeah, I forgot about the Dallas one that they didn't.
Well, you had bet on Green Bay, but as I remember, I think all Sunday we were the same.
Uh-huh.
So you had it won when you won the two Saturday games.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I look at it, I just made the wrong call. I took my bet, the shot I thought was best, though, and
You're not the
no apologies.
You're not the only one out there that.
Yeah.
I don't know how the pros did this week, but
I bet a lot of them were on the Packers.
they were, yeah.
Because
and Houston and
underdogs and road teams are a good play the past 20 years. These first 2 weeks, so I suspect a lot of them were at least on the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Take your mask. Yep, there we go.
And
I'm gonna put another Band-Aid on there for you. The way it's getting for you, Dork.
Oh yeah. Let me get my glasses on. Oh yeah. Laugh it up, voodoo.
That's it. Okay. Where can they find us on Twitter there, Dork?
Twitter at Dork and Dude FFL.
And you can find us on YouTube. Just search for Fantasy Football with the Dork and the Dude. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Dork or Dude.
I'm the Dude. You're the Dork.
There you go.
We were going to cover our fantasy season and how our draft did and the whole bit. So are you ready for that, Dork?
Right now, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I looked at the draft board and highlighted the worst picks that I made.
Mm-hmm.
First one was a reach when I took Bijan Robinson in the second round.
I could understand it at the time.
Well, I did too, but it was definitely a reach. And, you can be a great running back, but if you don't have a damn quarterback, you're not going to score as often.
And also, if you're a great running back in a sharing situation with a mediocre running back.
They kept plugging in out.
Tyler Algier is a good player.
Yeah, he is.
But, you got to feed the star.
Yeah, give him 20, 25.
That's why you drafted him.
Yep, give him 20, 25 carries a game. And so I don't even know where he ended up in our scoring system, but it was probably about, running back in the 20s somewhere.
And it was a weak offense, and you just, you want players in big offenses.
Yep. How about I'll do my review and then you do yours, Dork.
Okay.
Okay, my next bust was taking Darren Waller in the 5th round. Everybody and his brother was all over Waller, and I bought into the damn hype, and it was a total wasted pick. I think I cut the dude by week 4.
And I think when Daniel Jones went down, that was a tough thing for him.
Well, except Waller can't stay healthy no matter who's throwing the quarterback.
That's true.
Who's throwing the ball? 7th round, wasted pick, Cam Akers.
Should have listened to the Dork on that one.
I should have. You were right on Akers there, Dork. 10th round, I took Miles Sanders, who was terrible. When I should have took David Montgomery. So that was a mistake. And then I cut some guys too early. DJ Moore, you benefited bigly from that.
I benefited from that one, yeah.
And Zay Flowers, cut him too early. And then I just had some bad luck. Herbert and Mike Williams both getting hurt and missing games.
Yeah.
And so I finished 7th. Of course, I drafted 8th, which this year I think was a little bit of a disadvantage. But
now Henry was a good pick for you.
Henry's a good pick. I was wavering on him because, he hits the wall, but he didn't hit the wall. He had a good year. And I picked up Tua. First part of the season, he was good for me.
Yeah. Oh, he put up some big numbers at times.
Yeah, he did. How about you, Dork? How you feel about it now that
Um,
it's over?
the
Oh,
things I'm first round, I was picking seventh right before you,
yeah, you were.
and I had planned on picking a wide receiver in round one, and Cup, or yeah, I think Cup was gone, and so was Jefferson and
Right.
Chase. And I said, well, do I want Tyreek Hill here or do I want Nick Chubb? And I was leaning Chubb, and then I thought, well, the dude's going to take Tyreek Hill if I don't take him.
Yep.
And I got Chubb. And of course, Chubb got injured second week, I think.
That was bad luck.
But I had other guys I'd be happy to take. One of them, Tony Pollard, would have been a bust too. But
Yeah, I
I
had it.
took Tyreek Hill.
I was right about Pollard. He was
You were,
off my board.
yeah.
Uh,
And
and then what? Your
that
second
was a
pick?
good pick. But then
You took Chubb, Tyreek Hill, and
Chubb and Dobbins, I think, were my next two picks, and
Dobbins. Game one.
they were both gone before halftime of game two.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I know. But in retrospect, I should have waited a bit. I got another more solid guy.
Right.
I mean, Chubb, no one could have predicted his injury,
No.
but
No, that was good value there.
that was great value. And Dobbins, so he's been injured. So
Yeah, he's injury prone.
yeah, now it seems like it. Yeah. So I probably should have gone in a different direction there. And one thing in general I've been doing wrong for years is I just, I just, a quarterback with or a running back with the age thing, I kind of penalize them.
Yeah,
And there's guys,
you
I don't know
do.
how many rounds I looked at David Montgomery and let him go. And he's not even old. He's just on his second contract.
I
But
had that
James
dude.
Connor's another one.
Yeah, I had Montgomery targeted. He
Yeah,
just went before me.
yeah. And I just, I got to get over that bias.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, if you're 27, 28 years old, you're not old as a
for a
run.
running back, you are.
Not really.
Yeah. But there are exceptions to the rule. And the thing is, if a guy is going to get the work, that's who you want.
How old's Nick Chubb?
I think he's probably 27, 28.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dude's in his prime.
Right. But that's when you start to watch and wonder.
Yeah, you do.
Two picks I made, I had targeted them early, and I said I bet I can get them late. That I'm very going to pat myself on the back on though were Sam Laporta
Yep.
and Brock Purdy.
Those were awesome picks.
Yeah.
Yep.
So some good, some bad. I ended up fourth in an 8-team league, and better luck next year.
Yeah. Okay, so we've kind of wrapped up the fantasy season. Why don't we hadn't talked about this, but do you have like a couple of dudes that you're going to be targeting early next year that weren't on your radar this year?
Oh, probably.
When I'm thinking, I'm thinking like C.J. Stroud,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. C.J. Stroud's going to be an early QB pick.
Kyron Williams.
Kyron Williams. Oh, yeah. And a lot of it, with other, it's going to be situations with certain people. I mean, I liked Ramondre Stevenson this year,
Yeah, you did.
and I might like him next year, depending on where he ends up. We'll just see.
That was a bad pick.
That was another bad pick of mine. He just, again, a bad
And
team.
I was right on that
You
one.
were right on that one. Yeah, that was a good call. Um, I one thing, and we talked about this, is how a lot of tight ends emerged this year.
They did.
Young tight ends. Isaiah Likely, McBride, is it?
Yeah. Laporta, of course.
Laporta, of course.
Kincaid.
Kincaid,
Musgrave.
the Green Bay guys are
Yep.
both intriguing.
Yeah, they are.
So it's not like that makes guys like Kelsey and Andrews less valuable. That makes them players you can wait on.
Right. And Kittle too. I mean,
Kittle too.
I have
yeah.
Kittle over Andrews next year.
Right.
But yeah,
But the whole group is better, and
it used to be a wasteland.
that changes your draft strategy.
And then with Kelsey being a bust,
Yeah.
I think he's either going to retire
He
or
might. I mean, his brother retired.
he doesn't need the dough.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of the records and the Super Bowl wins and stuff. I mean, why keep playing? But he obviously loves the game. But he's on a downward spiral
I don't know.
athletically.
What's his contract
I
situation?
have no idea.
Okay.
But like I say, he doesn't care. He's making more money with commercials.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to do fine.
Yeah, he will.
And that's
But the
about it.
downfall of Kelsey and the injury to Andrews, that just the guys that took those guys, they were hurting units,
Mm-hmm.
and guys like me that took Waller.
Yeah. I had Hawkinson, who was pretty good.
He was till he got hurt,
Right, but then I just plugged in Laporta
and the dude was awesome.
yeah.
And we talked about it last week, I think. I'm going to definitely be taking a running quarterback this year, and
I
a
agree.
younger quarterback.
I agree.
Now, I thought I was kind of doing that this year when I got Herbert, because like the previous year, I think he ran 6N.
Yeah.
He didn't run in jack this last year.
Yeah.
And that hurts. Whereas we all know what Josh Allen did.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you got a guy like Allen or Hurts or Lamar.
Yep.
Even Justin Fields.
Yep.
They're good for they're good for a few rushing touchdowns a game.
Yeah, they are.
Not a game, but maybe in the case of Hurts and Allen, I think they both had over 10, right?
Yeah. I think Allen had like 16, and I think Hurts had like 14
or 15,
15,
yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and so even if they don't throw for 300 yards and get a bonus in our league scoring, if they run a couple in, like, Allen helped Corn Pop win.
He did.
Okay, moving along to division playoff week. We're down to 8 teams, Dork, 4 games.
Yeah.
Let's run through each game, how we feel about it, and why we're picking who we're picking. Let's start off with the Houston plus 9.5 versus Baltimore. The total is 43.5.
Okay, I'm going with Baltimore. I'm laying the points.
I'm going Houston and taking the points.
Okay.
In fact, I bet them real early Monday and got 10.
Okay, yeah.
And that's a valuable number.
Well, like I said, road dogs are pretty. I think I had them at road teams and underdogs, and I think there's a lot of overlap there.
Yeah.
In the divisional round, they're I want to say 47 and 37.
Oh God, here we go again. Dork alert.
47-37?
If I did my counting right.
Okay.
But it's pretty close to that, and that was about 56%.
Yeah.
So
I've got no problem taking underdog, especially, like Pittsburgh. It looks dumb now that I took them plus 10, but they were, on that last drive, could have covered.
Yeah. And let me say about Pittsburgh, we were betting on it based on bad weather on Saturday night.
Yeah, we were.
Saturday.
Yep.
Not, basically a clear, clean field, even though it was cold. So that can change things.
Yeah, it can. And that's why I'm taking the under in this game, because the weather looks kind of nasty. They're saying it's 23. It's going to be about in the 30s.
Yeah, might be some wind. I think,
22 mile an hour wind gusts.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be a down and dirty, in the trenches battle, field goal game.
Thing is, Houston, their defense has been terrible on the road this year.
Well, it's just
their offense is kind of they've had some good road outings. I want to say who'd they light up? Jacksonville on the road early in the year.
I think so.
And I just remember Baltimore early, around mid-season, good teams, Detroit and Seattle coming in there and just getting smoked.
Yep.
And that's the kind of game I'm thinking we might see, just a total domination.
That's what the pros are saying.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the pros are all on Baltimore.
Okay. I have not listened to a thing yet. Tomorrow I'll tune into Ross and Fezzik and Chad and Simon and see what they have to say.
Well, I have to admit, Houston's defense is kind of a patchwork
Yeah.
and a work in progress, but they've been playing well enough to win.
Well, and one thing I should have,
And if I can stay within 10 or even nine and a
yeah,
half,
well, that's it, the big number. And with CJ, he's good enough to get a backdoor cover for you.
that's what I'm hoping.
One thing I did miss on Houston Cleveland, and I thought about it, but just decided not to. I decided to go with the more veteran team.
Right.
That's Cleveland just wasn't that good on the road defensively,
Well, I think
as they were.
Yeah.
And this is something we've brought up many times before.
Yep.
This year. So I'm gonna do the home road split thing. Baltimore's offense kills it at home. I think they're gonna light them up.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and the pros, their discussion in this, as far as this game goes, has to do with Lamar's terrible playoff record. He's like 1-5 against the spread,
Mm-hmm.
and the pros are saying even that there's a chance that he could just choke.
Yeah, there is.
And so I'm going with the young team. I don't think they over celebrated last week, and I think they're going to go in there and.
I don't think they're fat and happy now.
The thing that bothers me about the first two games, actually, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Houston game in particular, is they and Green Bay. They played last week, and now they stuck them with a short week.
Yeah.
Against two teams that have been off for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but that's the benefit of the top seed.
Yeah, but what you should do is you should take those teams and put them on the Sunday games.
Yeah. I think that they may have changed that because of the Monday game. They didn't want to play Buffalo on the short week.
It's scripted, Dork.
Yeah, it's not scripted.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Scripted when I lose. When I win, I'm a genius.
That's
how it goes, right?
Okay, so I'm going Houston, you're going Baltimore, and I'm going under.
I'll go over.
Okay, you're going over. I'm thinking the weather conditions might prevent that.
I'm a little worried about that, but I just like both offenses to
I do too.
score enough points. So
okay, so and we might have to get at least one side bet.
I will try. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's revisit this one later, though. I mean,
I mean a side bet on one of these 4 games.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Next, Green Bay plus 9.5 versus the 49ers. Total over 15.5.
This is another weather game. They're expecting rain.
They are.
And I don't know how much that affects things, but
should help the running game.
It's there. And with Aaron Jones back, who knows? Anyways, I'm going with the Packers.
I am too, and I'm taking the over. I think there's going to be a shootout.
I got the under on this one, actually.
I'm like Steve Fenwick. I don't bet on Tuesday weather anymore.
Okay. Okay. You know what? I went over San Francisco's schedule. Okay.
Right.
There are 12 wins. They won by more than 10 points, 11 of them. And the one where they didn't win by more than 10 points, that was the one where the Rams kicked a field goal to get a backdoor cover.
I know. I was on the Niners most of the year betting wise.
Yeah.
I was eating those points.
And you know what? The thing is, the Packers have been playing so damn good the last 3 weeks.
They look almost like a machine.
Yeah, that I think this is too high. I do think San Francisco will win, but what's
I
the
hope
best
they win.
bet?
That's why
I think it's the Packers.
That's why I'm wearing the hat for my boys.
Yeah.
We got to get into the NFC Championship, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm taking Green Bay. You're taking Green Bay. I'm doing the over, and you're doing the under.
The under, yeah.
Okay. Next game up. Well, and the 49ers could come out there and just blast them.
They might, yeah.
And then everybody says Green Bay, young team, had a good run. I can see that scenario easily.
Yep.
But I got to take the points.
But they for 3 weeks they beat up on Minnesota, the Bears, and the Cowboys, and those are 3 good defenses.
Yep.
and they just did whatever they wanted against them.
Oh, they humiliated the Cowboys.
Yeah, and that's kind of scary if I'm a Niners fan.
Oh, I'm a little leery about
Yeah.
it. And the point the pros started making about Green Bay 2 or 3 weeks ago,
Yeah,
they're playing with house money.
yeah,
They can be loose. They got nothing to lose. No one
Yeah.
expected them to fucking be here.
yeah.
And teams like that can be scary. And Houston's the same way.
But you know what else is a thing? When he's had Rodgers the past few years,
Yeah.
LaFleur has not been a good playoff coach.
Well, and Rodgers hasn't been a good playoff quarterback.
No, he hasn't.
And that's part of the problem.
Uh-huh.
I'm not worried about LaFleur being a good playoff coach because
He's a good coach.
he showed
but
it last week.
He just hasn't done well in the playoffs. And yeah, last week he showed up. That's for
Things
sure.
change. One thing about LaFleur, and I watched a lot of Green Bay games this year, he doesn't, his in-game management's pretty good, and he doesn't make bonehead mistakes, like a McCarthy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm taking Green Bay, laying and getting the 9.5, and I'm going over.
I'm going under, but I got Green Bay as well. I think that it's a tough call. I think Green Bay is the best side to be on here.
I do too. Okay, Tampa Bay plus 6.5 versus those Detroit Lions. The total's 48.5.
Okay, I got Lions. I got over.
I'm taking Tampa Bay in the 6.5. I haven't bet it yet.
It's 6.5?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I haven't bet it yet. I'm hoping it goes to 7.
Okay.
Detroit and Tampa Bay. I heard a dork alert today.
Oh, God, here we go again. Dork alert.
Both of them were very good against the spread. In fact, they were equal, I think, they against the spread. And so both of them cover, and part of that is because Tampa Bay is underestimated by the sports books.
Yeah.
And Detroit's overestimated among the sports books. Like last week, for example, they couldn't cover against the Rams at home. You know,
the Rams. That game could have gone either way.
Well, and what killed the Rams was when Williams went out with a broken hand. He had surgery today. If that dude would have played the whole game, I think the Rams win that damn thing.
Yeah, I agree.
So Detroit, the impression I get is they're probably going to win this game, but and a lot of the pros are on Detroit, and they think they're just going to crush them because it's a bad spot for Tampa Bay. But I'm taking the points.
I don't know. Bowles is he's a good veteran coach.
Yeah,
he's been around. He coached the Jets for a few years when they had a bunch of clowns in the front office, and he just always impressed me by showing up.
I'm impressed with the dude too, and Baker Mayfield is playing better
too. Baker's been through some shit and he's back, and
I guess he's healthier this week than he was last week going into the game, and he's not a running quarterback, but he can scramble his way out of trouble, and so I like Tampa Bay and the over.
I like the over, but what it came down to me is I just think Detroit's going to be on something of a high. I don't think Tampa Bay can stop their passing game.
It's going to be tough.
And I think it's going to be a shootout, and I'll toss out a score, 38-24 Detroit.
Okay. On the flip side of that, I heard one of the pro bettors talking this morning, and he said, I watched that Rams-Detroit game, and Detroit could have lost that damn game. And he said, but when I saw them in the locker room afterwards, I said, these dudes are getting too damn high. Granted, he said, it's their first playoff win in 30 damn years. Yeah. You know they're going to go nuts. Yeah. They might lay an egg here.
Yeah, but Goff has been to the Super Bowl, though.
And didn't do well.
They got other players who
choked.
Yeah, well, New England probably cheated. They probably knew exactly what he was going to do.
I have no doubt about that.
But I'm just saying, he's not the divisional round of the playoffs is not going to shake him.
No, he's been playing well.
Yeah.
Okay, so next game.
To recap, I got Detroit. You got Tampa. We both got the over.
We do, and I don't have enough faith to bet you on a side bet on taking Tampa Bay.
No, I 6.5 points is a lot. I just think there's going to be a lot of scoring, and Detroit wins by at least a touchdown. But I could be wrong.
I could see Detroit winning this 24-21.
Yeah.
Which means Tampa Bay would cover, or I could see Tampa Bay winning by a field goal.
I could too.
Because here's the problem for Detroit. They've got a great rush defense.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, one of the prop bets I really like this week is your boy Rashad White under 54 yards rushing.
Yeah.
I think it's 56, something like that. I haven't bet it yet.
Okay.
Did you know that all season the Lions have not allowed? Oh yeah, here we go. Dork alert.
Oh God, here we go again. Dork alert.
All season they have not allowed a runner to get over 70 yards.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, they got a good rushing defense.
But their weakness is their secondary.
Yeah.
And Mike Evans, Godwin's a little banged up, but I expect him to play. And those two young kids, Moore and Palmer, they had last.
Trey Palmer. I liked him in the draft, I remember.
Yeah, those dudes were going off.
Yeah.
And
granted, it was against a Philly team that had already taken
packed
the
it in.
season off.
Yeah, but Tampa Bay ain't taking nothing off.
Mm-mm.
And so let's move on to the next one. KC minus 2.5 versus the Bills. The total's 45.
In Buffalo, going to be cold, but otherwise the weather not going to be real cold. 20, I think, might be the high.
That's good football weather.
And no other weather is forecast, but it's Buffalo, so they could have a surprise snowstorm any minute.
Or wind.
Yeah.
Who do you like here?
You make your pick.
I'm taking the Bills and laying the points.
Okay, I have no idea, so I'm just going to go the opposite and take KC.
Okay.
And I do like the under.
I got the under as well.
I mean, I could see Buffalo blowing them out, or I could see Kansas City breaking their hearts again.
Yeah.
And
Bills in the past, though, have played KC tough.
They have. Yeah, I just don't know which way to go on this. So.
And I think KC on the road, we'll see.
And Buffalo, they lost another linebacker.
I know they're
Monday.
They're banged up.
That's tough to keep up. It's like with Miami, you know.
Yeah, it is.
When they just start dropping like flies.
They are dropping like flies.
That's tough.
Okay, here's the bets I've already made, Dorkster. I got Green Bay plus 10. Plus, I also took them on the money line at plus 390 versus the Niners.
I like that one.
That money line now is down to like 320, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I got good value there. I took Houston on the money line at plus 330 versus Baltimore. And I'm just laying $10 to win 30.
Yeah.
And then I should have waited, but I grabbed the Bills at minus 3. But I got them at low juice, minus 102.
And with those money line bets, you win one of the two. You know, that's a win.
That's it.
I bet Green Bay plus 10. I thought the line would go down
more
than it has.
We're together on this.
And I jumped on it. Was their game Saturday or Sunday? The Packers.
The Packers was Sunday.
Okay. I jumped on that. Yeah.
Yeah. And with all the futures bets I got on Green Bay now.
Wait, did I watch that? Is that the one I watched? Oh, no, I came over Monday to watch the Bills-Pittsburgh game.
Right. Yeah, you couldn't get out of your neighborhood.
I probably could have, but I didn't want to risk it.
I don't blame you.
With all the snow.
Yeah, it was ugly out there. Okay, so taking the Bills, you're taking KC, and I got the under, and you got the under.
We both got the under, yeah.
So, Houston. Oh, no, I already said that. Oh, those were all my bets. Do you have any more bets you placed already, Dork?
I may have bet an under. I'm not sure. I was going to, but...
I'm going to bet that Rashad White bet for damn sure.
Okay. See,
I like listening to the prop masters, but I don't always follow their advice. But when one of them hits on something and gives me a good reason to bet it, I'm betting it.
Well,
because these dudes do their research more than we do.
And also, one thing I heard about prop bets, the running totals and that.
Right.
That's only about 3% of any sportsbook's business.
Sure.
So they don't put a lot of effort into it like they do the lines,
Yeah,
kind of manipulating
they
them.
don't have some guy going whose only job is to check overs and unders.
Right. But they say that's where you can make money. Now, speaking of White, I did bet him to go, I think, over 75 or 76 yards
Last week?
Monday. He got 74, for fuck's sake.
Oh man,
So,
that's a bad beat.
Yeah, well, those happen.
They do.
Yeah, and I thought he was going to chew up Philly, and he did. But they were so easy to pass on him, they couldn't resist.
And they were blowing them out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see here. So let's do a side bet here, Dork. Since I've been taking you to the cleaners, figuratively speaking, I'm going to let you pick the game and the side that you like, and I'll take the other. Maybe.
How about Baltimore?
Houston. Baltimore, Houston plus 9.5.
You good with that?
You give me 10.
10. 10. That's big.
9.5's big.
Okay. How about Detroit, Tampa Bay?
Oh, you want to do another one?
Or KC, Buffalo?
Okay.
But it got to be the odds that are down.
Okay. So I'll take 9.5 on Houston.
Okay.
And let's see here. I think I'd rather take Tampa Bay versus Detroit if you give me 6.5.
Okay. So that's the one we're doing?
Yeah, we're doing 2, aren't we?
Okay. So you want to take them both?
Yeah, I'll take Houston and 9.5, and I'll take Tampa Bay and 6.5.
Not wild about betting the Lions. But
You don't have to if you don't want to, man.
Well, let's do it.
Okay.
$10 a game.
Awesome. Do a hatchet. Oh, I forgot to mention, Dor. I didn't put a curse on any player or a fellow fantasy football team or anything like that, Dork.
Last week.
But do you remember who I put it on? The Dallas Cowboys, baby!
Okay.
I mean, the voodoo posse is probably getting McCarthy frickin' fired. Don't you tell me the shit don't work no more.
It don't work.
It does work. So who am I gonna hex this week? Well, Lamar's already wrapped up that MVP bet for me, so I'm gonna go Baltimore. You're gonna choke this week, and everybody's gonna say afterwards Lamar can't win the big one, and I can see him right now at the podium after the game, and Lamar going, well, it just didn't work out like we were wanted.
That's what you got to say.
I hear you.
But
so I'm cursing Baltimore Ravens, especially since I got Houston bets to win the Super Bowl. As do you. You should be rooting for Houston to win that.
Well, I'm happy to. I'm happy to ride that as long as it goes, because that's $2,000, I think.
Yeah.
Or a grand.
A grand.
It's $5 at 200 to 1.
That's a grand. That'd be sweet, wouldn't it?
Yeah. You know, for $5, I've got much more than $5 of entertainment out of that bet.
Yeah.
So.
I hear you.
Win, lose, whatever.
Oh, and talking about basketball, how about our Thunder bet?
How about our Thunder?
How are they doing? I look at
They're killing it.
What's the record?
I'm not sure their record, but they're one of the top teams in the league this year.
Yeah, and what do we get them at? 100 to 1, I think.
There's not a lot of playoff experience there.
Yeah, they're a young team.
But we'll see.
All right. Yeah. The Dork, he's the NBA guy. That's his real core.
Well,
as far as a fan.
A couple of years ago, we won some money on Boston, right? They were struggling early,
we did.
And we bet them to win the conference, and they did at like 30 to 1.
Yeah. So I just rely on the Dork when it comes to NBA. This year, I said, "Hey, Dork, give me like 3 teams with long odds," and the Thunder was one of them. Yeah. The Magic was one. They're not doing well, are they, Dork?
They're doing better. They'll probably make the playoffs, but not go that far.
And knowing you probably bet your boy Zion and the Pelicans.
No, I remember I gave you then, and you said, I don't want to hear about fucking Zion.
I don't want anything to do with the cat, and he's playing pretty well, I guess. Is he hurt?
He's having his moments, but he's just too big.
Yeah.
And he doesn't move like he did in college and, when he played earlier.
Yeah, well,
So.
when you're living at McDonald's,
Mm-hmm.
that's what happens. Okay, I got some golf bets, Dork.
Okay, let's hear him.
Okay, this week, the first two tournaments of the current PGA Tour were in the Hawaiian Islands. The last 2 weeks. Last week was the Sony, and the week before that was the Century. Now they're moving to California and the Florida part of the tour, and they're playing in Palm Springs. It used to be called the Bob Hope Classic. Remember
Mm-hmm.
that? Now it's called the AT&T, and this is a unique kind of a tournament for a lot of these pros because the first 2 days of the tournament they play with the amateurs like they do at Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
And so what that does is for the pros,
Mm-hmm.
it slows down the play. And if they're playing with some amateur who's having a bad day and shit, it throws them off.
Yeah.
And anyway, I got a couple of long shots here for the listeners and viewers of Fantasy Football with the Dork and the Dude. Oh, and by the way, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, please. I got Eric Cole. Now, this guy's an interesting guy. He's probably the best young player on the tour that's never won a tournament. So I'm not betting him to win outright, but I got him to be in the top 10 at plus 320. And I bet this guy in the Century, and he finished top 10, but he didn't win it. But he played good again last week at the Sony in Honolulu. JT Poston, I got him at the winner 30 to 1.
Okay.
Now I throw $5-10 on these bets and stuff. This I'll start drilling down into golf and horse racing as soon as the Super Bowl's over. But so I'm playing smaller amounts and maybe only 2 guys a week or something.
But you fucking killed it in the NFL bets this year.
I did well.
So you got the money to play with. So yeah, make those bets.
I do, but you have to have discipline and money management.
You gotta be careful, yeah.
Just because you're up maybe $1,000 or something for us small time guys, you gotta be cool.
Don't say the money. Say I'm up 20 units.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, if you're up 150 units like I am. Another thing I want to start doing when we are doing our picks and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to do like the pros because it makes them sound really smart.
What's that?
But I don't know how much time they're actually putting in on this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is this. They'll always say, well, Houston is plus 9.5 versus Baltimore. My power rankings have Baltimore at -7.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
So I'm going to start having fucking power rankings.
Yeah. I got Baltimore at 7 points better, 1 point for being at home, so that's Houston by 1.5.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing that stuff, man, because I don't really buy into that.
Well, also...
how do they come up with their power rankings? I know they must have a computer program.
They've probably done a lot of studying and can put numbers like yards per play,
DVOA,
turnover, blitz rate, injuries, all that, DVOA,
yards per play,
and translate that to points.
Yeah, well, apparently that's how it works.
Yeah.
But I don't care about power rankings. I look at the matchup, I look at the situation, see if it's a good or a bad spot for a team, and I just bet it.
Yeah, I lean towards teams with better yards per play and better point differential. Because over time, they're going to win more than 50%. Not a lot more because point spread is a good equalizer.
Sure.
But there's also the fact, I've seen games that were 14-point games at the end that were close as hell, but there was like a pick six at the end, when the team's driving.
I've
seen, 2 3-point games where one team dominated and the other one gets a punt return and a bomb at a Hail Mary at the end to make it close.
Well, like Buffalo, they didn't play all that well, but they got a punt return. And they
didn't have a punt return, but they had the long Allen run. But after that, they couldn't do anything on offense.
They couldn't, and I'm a little worried about them.
Yeah, I am too. I don't know what to think of KC, but I got them this week. I kind of hope Buffalo wins because if they go to the Super Bowl, I'm looking good in our fantasy playoff
Yeah,
thing.
I've got a
But
couple of Baltimore
yeah,
players. If Green Bay beats well, I'm going to lose players in the Green Bay 49er matchup
okay,
because I got Aaron Jones and I got Reed, the wide receiver for
yeah,
Green Bay. Then I got McCaffrey, San Francisco D, and Moody, the kicker. I mean, I want the Niners to win on multiple levels, but
yeah.
I'm not gonna lay 9.5. Or, in my case, I got 10. If I'm the Niners, I'm
Right,
not laying 10.
right.
I hope they win by a field goal, actually,
Mm-hmm.
or a touchdown. Anything under 10. Okay, you've been watching Fantasy Football with the Dork and the Dude. Thanks for watching, and we will be back next Wednesday and cover the division and talk about the championship games. Can you believe, Dork, the championship games are a week away, week and a half?
I asked, is the Dork going to have a better week than the Dude? And it said, no doubt.
Okay.
Take it to the bank.
All right. You don't believe in this shit, but okay, if it works for you.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks again for watching. We'll see you next week. Good luck in your betting and your. Oh, Dork. We were talking about the fantasy playoffs. How you feeling right now? I mean, we each had a side bet that's looking pretty good, didn't we?
Yeah, we each won against a guy who went all in on the Eagles for some reason.
Yeah. He's got one player left.
And
Pacheco for Kansas City.
I'm not feeling real good. We'll see how it goes. If it's Buffalo's the team I kind of went in on with their defense, Diggs
Yep.
and Allen.
Defense didn't do too much for you.
No, they didn't. I have a couple. I got Say and OBJ for Baltimore.
Yep.
And the only other two players I have are Ray McLeod, hoping for a kick return.
Yep.
And Rashad White, who I think is going to be out this week.
Ray, who's going to be out?
Rashad White, who's going to be out after this week. I
Oh,
should
yeah. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Actually, since I'm going to lose players in that Niner game, I want a damn shootout so that my Aaron Jones and my Reed, get me some points on the way out.
Speaking of Reed, can I just do a little
Jalen Reed.
Bears fan rant here?
Sure.
So I was talking about this with my son and then Chicago Bob.
Okay.
You know, the Packers in the last 2 years have drafted between tight ends and receivers, maybe 7 receivers and tight ends.
Yep.
None of them in round 1.
Right.
And they're all awesome.
Tell me about it.
It's all Jerry Rice and Gronk, you know?
That's what happened.
And how do they do that?
They have a good general manager.
They obviously do.
They're a good organization.
Yeah.
And you know what? If I'm the Packers next year, and I'm going to be betting the Packers heavy to win the Super Bowl next year, because I think they're probably a year away, they should go out in free agency, pick up a couple veterans, and draft for the defense. Because that offense is, you might want to get another running back because Dillon's unreliable and Jones is getting up there in years. But if they can fix that defense and become, say, a top 10, they could be scary.
And they got
and I got a Dork alert.
They got some good players.
Oh, God, here we go again. Dork alert.
Jordan Love,
Yeah.
the first 8 games of the season, his completion percentage was under 60%.
Yeah.
And he was averaging something like 7 yards per pass attempt. The last half of the season, completion percentage 72%, completing at an 8.2 yard clip.
Yeah, he has been on fire.
And he's only going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is one of those situations where you let a guy ride the bench, learn under a Hall of Famer, and you plug him in there, and he performs instead of just throwing him to the wolves.
Yeah.
If I can get Green Bay 35-1 to win the Super Bowl next year, I'm going to maybe throw $50.
I think that's a good guesstimate of where they'll be.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, we're closing this out.
Hey, enjoy the games, regardless of who you pull for or how your bets do.
Yep.
And don't bet enough that it's gonna stress you out or or be a problem. But These were some great games this weekend. There's some fun new
They
teams
were awesome.
in there.
Awesome games.
And enjoy the games. These are great athletes, and it's a lot of fun. It's a fun time of year for a sports fan, so enjoy it.
Yeah, it is. And go San Francisco 49ers. We're going to win our 6th Super Bowl this year.
6, baby. Going for 6.
Will that tie the Patriots and the Steelers, right?
I
For
think Patriots
most ever.
have 7. I think Steelers
No, I think they have 6.
Okay.
Brady has 7.
Hold on, Dork. I got to go. Oh, okay. They got 6. Okay.